Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we'll be talking about the quarterback battles in Indianapolis and Cleveland and talk about the winners. This on another episode of... So first up, let's talk about the battle that sort of wasn't that much in doubt for most of the offseason, and that's Cleveland. Joe Flacco has been officially announced the starter for Week 1, and that comes as not that much of a surprise. Flacco had been in the Browns system prior to this year, and he'd be the one that Kevin Stefanski would be the most comfortable with starting. Why? Well, because you know what you get with Flacco? You get an old quarterback who has a decent ceiling and an okay floor, and that's about it. If and when Flacco gets benched this season, the Browns are going to go with the rookies. Tyler Huntley, of course, for the Browns is a late addition, so he didn't really have that much of a shot. And then the two that had a small chance, but not a true chance, were the rookies in Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders. Shadur made a good case for himself in Week 1 of the preseason, but then he got hurt, and any chance, I think, of him overcoming Flacco went away there. But he did have a good performance. I think he's positioned himself nicely to be one of the QBs the Browns consider after Flacco flames out. But it's not going to be that quick, I don't think. I think Flacco will last maybe half the season before something causes him to get benched. Now moving on to the more surprising quarterback battle winner in Daniel Jones for the Indianapolis Colts. And this was surprising. I mean, it wasn't that surprising, but it was surprising that the Colts actually did it. Daniel Jones, first year on the team, 2 years removed from getting kicked off the Giants. He's now the Colts starter heading into Week 1. Of course, Daniel Jones' story, as it goes, gets kicked off the Giants, goes to the Vikings, was their backup last year, leaves the Vikings, signs with the Colts to compete with Anthony Richardson. And the Colts GM, Chris Ballard, and Shane Steichen have decided that they need to save their jobs, and the best way to do that, because of how badly they've managed this team, is Daniel Jones. Yeah, I wouldn't trust my job to Daniel Jones either, but we're here. They are. It's happening. Now, in the preseason, in the first preseason game, Anthony Richardson, of course, immediately gets hurt. Daniel Jones comes in, does decently well. Second preseason game, they basically put up similar stat lines. There was not much differentiation between them. But to be honest, I can see why the Colts did go with Daniel Jones, and I think it might work out for them. Daniel Jones, of course, he can run. He can use his legs, but he also can throw. Now, his throws aren't always the most accurate, but we're not talking about him competing with a passer like Matthew Stafford or Joe Burrow here. We're talking about him competing in a quarterback battle against the human arm cannon with the stormtrooper accuracy that is Anthony Richardson. Yes, he can throw a great deep ball. He can also throw all the passes and somehow never hit his target. Both statements can be true. Additionally, Daniel Jones, he falls into the Baker Mayfield category of, hey, I am a quarterback who was on my first team. I got screwed. Now I'm looking for redemption somewhere else. And maybe this works out for the Colts. Maybe Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen pull off the masterclass and save their jobs, although I kind of think they don't deserve to save their jobs at this point, considering how badly they managed this team. But let's say they do. Well, Daniel Jones has a chance to be the Colts starter potentially beyond this year if he does good enough and gets them actual wins. I'm thinking like an 8-9 win season. That would be what they're shooting for. So, how does this affect Anthony Richardson? Well, honestly, I don't know what the people who thought Richardson would actually win this battle were thinking. Because when you look at it, this quarterback has had 2 years. He's been injured on and off, but he falls into the category of supreme physical specimen. Great athlete. Just the problem there is that he's not really a good quarterback. You take a prospect out of college who hasn't had enough time in college to truly see how good or not good he is, and you throw him in because his upside is so high, but you fail to consider where his floor is. And for Anthony Richardson, the floor is pretty low. Richardson, among the fact that I already said that his accuracy is suspect, he also benched himself, which no player should do unless there's actually a serious injury. That's a personality issue. Additionally, every time Richardson would play in the last 2 years, and then he would either get hurt or get taken out of the game by this, that, or the other, whoever the Colts brought in to replace him arguably played better for how that team is built. Because, believe it or not, the Colts actually have a pretty good receiving core. They have Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, heck, even Alex Pierce. And now they got Tyler Warren to boot. That is a good receiving core, plus tight end. And I feel like it's wasted on Richardson. I mean, look at how the Ravens are built around Lamar Jackson. Great O-line, great running back room, great tight ends. Don't really care too much about receiving core. I mean, they have Zay Flowers, but nothing too special. And over here with the Colts, you actually got a talented receiving core. For a quarterback whose thing is scrambling and occasionally throwing a good ball, that's not matching well. The Colts roster is more designed for a pocket passer, feels like. And while Daniel Jones is by no means a pocket passer, because he does indeed scramble at times, he's more of a pocket passer than Richardson. So, whether Richardson stays on the Colts as a very disgruntled backup or he gets traded remains to be seen, but congratulations, Daniel Jones, on winning the job. So with that being said, guys, please like, share, and subscribe down below. Comment what you think, and I'll see you next time.